going to be a Halloween video. I'm going to show you how to make 6 different treats for Halloween. Some of them are inspired by some recipes found on Pinterest, and others are some that I got the idea for myself. Some of them look really creepy and other of them are just really cute. I also want to tell you the brownie that I made in this video I've never tried making before, and it's honestly the best brownie ever. I would definitely recommend you to try them. Even if you don't want to make them for Halloween, you can just make them any other day, and they're so delicious. But let's get started with the video. The first treat we're gonna make is these super cute mummy brownies. For these we're going to need either some store-bought brownies, or you can also make your own, and that's what I'm gonna do. If you want to use the same recipe that I'm using, you're going to need half a cup of flour, 1 1/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 2/3 cups butter, 2 eggs, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, 1 teaspoon vanilla. You can either use vanilla extract or vanilla powder. Then lastly, you'll also need half a cup of milk chocolate and 1/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chopped into little pieces. To start off, we're going to preheat our ovens to 160 degrees Celsius or 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to line an 8x8 inch cookie pan with some parchment paper. I didn't have one in the right size, but it still worked with the one I used. For the brownies, we're going to start by melting the butter and the sugar in the microwave for about 1 minute. When it's melted, we're just going to let it sit on the counter for about 5 minutes to cool off a little before stirring in the vanilla and the cocoa powder. Now we're just going to pour the mixture into a bigger bowl. Then we're going to mix it with an electric mixer on low speed, adding 1 egg at a time. Then set the bowl aside for now. In a medium-sized bowl, whisk together the flour, baking soda, cornstarch and salt. Now we're going to add it into the wet mixture. Then we're going to add the 2 kinds of chocolate into the batter and fold it together with a spatula. Now it's time to put the brownie batter into the cake pan. Make sure to spread it out in an even layer so it bakes evenly. Then just place it in the oven and let it bake for 30 to 40 minutes. When the brownie is done baking, let it cool off for about half an hour and cut it into squares. To decorate the brownies, you'll need some candy ice and 1 portion of icing. You can either use store-bought or you can make your own using 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla and 2 tablespoons milk. To make the icing, we're just going to mix together the powdered sugar, the vanilla and the milk until it makes a thick icing. If your icing is too thin, you can add some more powdered sugar, and if it's too thick, you can add some more milk. We want it to be a pretty thick consistency like this. Then just drizzle the icing over the brownies so it looks like the bandages that mummies wear. Then lastly, we're going to add 2 candy ice, and that's it for the first treat. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a bloody vanilla frappuccino. To make the edible blood, you'll need 1/4 cup light corn syrup, half a tablespoon cornstarch, 1/8 teaspoon wet food coloring, 1 tablespoon chocolate syrup, and lastly 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder. First we're gonna mix together the corn syrup, the chocolate syrup and the food coloring. Then sift in the cornstarch and the cocoa powder. Mix it together really well, and then it's time to test the color. If it looks like blood, it's ready. If not, just add some more food coloring. Now we're going to need 2 tall glasses. To make it look like the blood is dripping from the glasses, we're just going to drizzle the mixture onto the top of them and let it drip down the sides. By the way, if you're dressing up for Halloween and need some edible fake blood, you can use this recipe as well. I would probably just add a little extra powdered sugar, cause else it might be a little too thin for that. To make the vanilla frappuccino, you'll need 1 cup of ice cubes, 1 1/2 cup of milk, 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, 1 teaspoon sugar and 1/8 teaspoon vanilla. If you want to, you can also add some whipped cream to the top of it. In a blender, add all the ingredients and blend it together till there's no more lumps in it. Pour the Frappuccino into glasses and top it up with some whipped cream if you want to. And that's it for the bloody Frappuccino. The next treat we're going to make is these creepy eyeball mini donuts. For these we'll need 1 cup of flour, half a cup of milk, half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, 1 egg and 4 tablespoons oil. First stir together all the dry ingredients in a ball. Then add in the egg, the milk and the oil and mix it together. Now it's time to get your donut machine or donut pan ready. Make sure to put some oil or butter in all the holes to prevent the donuts from sticking to them. When the machine is ready, pour about a tablespoon of the dough into each hole and close the lid. Let them bake for about 2 minutes or until they start to brown. I haven't tried making these in a donut pan in the oven, but I think you'll have to leave them in there for longer than 2 minutes. The donuts I made failed the first few times. The first became one big donut because I filled the holes with too much of the dough. The second portion was stuck in the pan because I forgot to put some oil in it before I put in the dough. The third portion was all burnt and stuck in the pan because I forgot all about them. But the fourth portion came out perfect, so just use those. But when you're done baking the donuts, you can let them cool off on a baking rack. To decorate them, we'll need some white, red and black icing, either store-bought or homemade. If you want to make your own, the recipe is actually just the same as the icing from the Mummy brownies. So you'll need 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla and 2 to 4 tablespoons milk. And then you'll also need red and black food coloring. Lastly, you're also going to need a few M&Ms or any other kind of round flat candies. Like in the first recipe, we're just going to mix together the powdered sugar, the vanilla and the milk. Pour a little into 2 small balls and dye one of them red and one of them black. When the donuts have completely cooled, we're going to dip them into the white icing so one side gets fully covered. Then set them down onto a plate and put 1 M&M into each hole. For the red and the black icing, I just put it into Ziploc bags that I just cut the corner off. That makes it a little easier to make the little details, but you can also just use a spoon if you want to. With the red, we're going to make small veins on the edge of them. With the black icing, just make a small dot in the middle of each M&M. That's it for this treat. For these adorable pumpkin cupcakes, we're gonna need 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons baking powder, half a teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 1 cup sugar, half a cup butter, and 2 eggs. We're gonna start off by preheating our ovens to 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to line a cupcake tin with some paper cups. To make the cupcakes, we're gonna sift together the flour, the baking powder and the salt into a small bowl and mix it together. In a large bowl, we're going to cream the butter with an electric mixer for about 30 seconds. Add the sugar and the vanilla and beat it until it's light and fluffy. It should take about 3 or 4 minutes. Then mix in the eggs one at a time. Now we're going to add in the dry ingredients, alternating with the milk. When we have mixed it for a while so there's no more lumps, we're going to spoon it into the muffin cups. This recipe makes about 18 muffins. Then we're going to bake them in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. When they're done, we have to make them cool off on a baking rack. To decorate them, we'll need half a cup of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons butter, 1 cup powdered sugar, half a teaspoon vanilla, some orange food coloring, or you can use a mixture of red and yellow food coloring. Lastly, you're going to need about 1/4 cup dark chocolate. Start by creaming together the cream cheese and the butter with an electric mixer. Then add in the powdered sugar and the vanilla and mix it together. When it's fully mixed, we're gonna add the food coloring. Just add a little at a time until you like the color. Then it's time to decorate the cupcakes. Start by frosting all the cupcakes with the orange frosting. Then we're gonna give them faces. You can make all of them the same, or you can give each of them a different face like I did. Then we're done with this treat. The next treat I'm gonna show you how to make is these banana ghosts. They're actually healthy and they're so yummy. For these you'll need 2 bananas and 1 cup of Greek yogurt. In the recipe that I got inspired from, they actually used white chocolate, but to make them healthy I thought I would make them with yogurt instead. But other than that, you'll also need some dark chocolate. You don't need a lot of this, just a few squares. Start by peeling the bananas and cut them into halves. Then we're going to put a popsicle stick into each of them. Now put them in the freezer until they're really cold. They don't need to be frozen. I let mine sit in the freezer for about an hour. When the bananas are cold, we're going to dip them right into the yogurt so they get fully covered. Then lay them down and put them aside. Next we're going to melt the chocolate. You can either do it in a microwave or in a double boiler. Now we're going to give the banana ghost some eyes. Just make 2 small dots, or you can make some big ones if you want to. Then just pop them back in the freezer for a few hours until they're completely frozen. And there you have it, super cute and healthy ghost popsicles. Lastly, I'm gonna show you how to make Halloween bark. It's really easy and quick to make. For this you'll just need some chocolate. I used about a cup of dark chocolate, but you can use any kind you like. Then to decorate it you'll also need a bunch of your favorite toppings. I'm using some M&Ms, some sprinkles, some eyeball candies, and also a few crushed up Oreo cookies. So you want to start off by melting your chocolate in the microwave or in a double boiler until it's completely melted. Then pour the chocolate out on a plate or a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper. Then while the chocolate is still melted, we're just going to sprinkle it with all the toppings. When you're done, you'll just have to place it somewhere cold until it hardens. I put mine in the freezer for about an hour, then break it into pieces and they're ready to serve. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. I used a lot of time on making this video and it was so much fun, so I hope you make some of the recipes. And comment down below what you want my next video to be. Well, thanks for watching. Bye!